We are observing holy Purushotam VRATA. Yesterday we heard from Brihanaradiya Puran. Krishna came to Kamyavan, where Panchapandavas they were staying, and he told them about the appearance of Purushottam month, how he was being slighted, and then Narayan took him to Krishna in Goloka, and Krishna then blessed him and invested all his powers into him and named him as Purushottam, became her husband also and protector, and declared, whoever will observe you, he will get all his desires fulfilled and he will come to me, but one who will not observe, he will go to hell. So this is in short. Now we are continuing. After narrating this brief history of Purushottam month, Lord Shri Krishna glanced very mercifully upon Yudhishthir and Draupadi, and then began speaking to Arjuna. O lion among men, can you now understand the reason why you Pandavas are suffering? You did not acknowledge or honor the presence of Purushottam month, which has just recently finished. That month which is most dear to Vrindavan Chandra has passed, but you Pandavas were in the forest and did not worship Purushottam month. So now you are suffering. For every suffering, there is some reason, some action is there. You will find now there are some therapists, they can tell you why you are suffering this disease or something, what is the cause. Before also in Ekadashi Mahatmya like that, you will find rishis, they will meditate and see, yes, you did this in your past life, so because of that now you have to suffer, so you have to observe that Ekadashi and then you can remove that. So here also Krishna is telling them what is the cause of suffering. So now you are suffering. But the root cause of all suffering is our aversion to Krishna. That is why we came to this Maya and are doing all these activities. Root cause is that. But here, immediate one, some cause was. You have been following the ritualistic principles given to you by Vyasadeva, but unless you worship Purushottam month, you cannot perform pure devotional service to me. Ritualistic principle means this karma kanda, varna ashram, dharma, this. But Purushottam month, you will get pure devotion. Lord Shri Krishna continued. Now I am going to narrate a famous historical event concerning the previous birth of Draupadi. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentioned there, but their details are not given, so here they are. In her previous birth, Draupadi was the daughter of a great Brahmana sage called Medavi. Her mother died when she was a small child, and so she was under the care of her father. Day by day, she grew to full-bloom youth. She was very beautiful, but her father was not interested in arranging her marriage. Seeing her other girlfriends with their husbands and young children, she passed her days in a very miserable way. In the meantime, her father passed away from this material world while uttering the sacred name of Hari. This made his daughter even more miserable. Fortunately, the great sage Durvasa Muni appeared in her ashram shortly after her father's death. Seeing the great sage, the girl paid her obeisances to him and respectfully worshipped him. She offered flowers and fruits to the great sage. When he expressed his pleasure with her reception, she began lamenting and crying before him. Concerned, the sage inquired about her lamentation. The Brahmana girl began to speak. O great Saint Durvasa, you know everything, past, present, and future. I have no shelter in this world. I have lost all of my relatives. My parents have passed away, and I have no elder brother. I am also unmarried, and therefore there is no husband to protect me. O great sage, please do something. Please help me. Please give me some advice to relieve me from this miserable condition. After listening to her prayer, Durvasa began to consider the unfortunate condition of the girl, and he decided to show mercy towards her. Durvasa Rishi began to speak. O beautiful one, 3 months from now, the most auspicious Purushotam month will begin. This sacred month is most dear to Lord Shri Krishna. Just by taking a holy bath in this month, a man or a woman can become completely sinless. Holy bath means in some sacred river or lake. So if you do it in this month, then you will destroy all sins. This Purushottam month is more glorious than all other months, including Kartik month. The glories of all other months is not even equal to 1/16 of the glories of Purushottam month. The merit of a person who takes a holy bath even once in this month is equal to the merit of taking bath in the Ganges for 12,000 years, or the merit achieved by a person who takes a bath in holy water of Ganges or Godavari when Brihaspati or Jupiter enters the Leo line. That is why you will find in the article of Srila Bodhayan Maharaj, he put on his page about Purushottam, that is in the beginning, in the title. That's Purushottam is 16 times more powerful than others. This point he put on top, so that we will be interested to follow. And you see how much you will get more benefit. If you will take a holy bath, give in charity, and chant the holy name of Krishna during this month, all your miseries will go away, you will attain all kinds of perfection, and all of your desires will be fulfilled. Durvasa is saying to this girl, Draupadi in previous life, please follow my advice. Please do not forget to worship the forthcoming Purushottam month very sincerely. After speaking these words, sage Durvasa remained silent. Unfortunately, the young Brahmani did not believe in his words. Rather, she became angry and started blaspheming. O great sage, you are lying. How can this extra month, which is also called Malamas or stool month or impure month, be superior to other great months like Magh, Kartik and Vaishak? I cannot believe your words. You are trying to cheat me. This extra month is known to be most abominable for any kind of pious activity. That was the general conception when, as we heard before, when this month appeared on earth, then all demigods and humans, they thought this is abominable. And there are no any kinds of pious activity prescribed. So this was also her conception, and though she heard, but she could not believe. Hearing these words of the Brahmana girl, Durvasa became very angry. His whole body started burning and his eyes became red. But remembering the helpless condition of the girl, he consciously controlled himself. Sage Durvasa told the girl, "O unfortunate one, I am not going to curse you because your father was a good friend of mine. You are in such a helpless condition. Being an ignorant child, you cannot understand the Shastric conclusion. I am not going to take your offenses towards me seriously. But at the same time, I cannot, because she told that he was lying, so that is offense. You are trying to cheat me like this. These are all offenses. So he said, I will not take. But at the same time, I cannot and should not tolerate your offenses towards Purushotam. This is always pure devotees. They will not be disturbed if someone is blaspheming them directly, because they have no false pride and they don't want any respect or nothing. They will not mind. And pure devotees also think I'm not devotee, I'm nothing special, nothing. But if someone blasphemes their guru or some Vaishnava or Supreme Lord, then they will become very angry on that person in order to benefit him, to show him that that is not good. Always they will do amanina manadena. I should not tolerate your offenses towards Purushottam. In your next life, you will certainly reap the results of your offensive words. The great sage Durvasa then hurriedly left that place to perform his service to Lord Narayan. Lord Shri Krishna told Arjuna, O sinless one, when Durvasa Muni left that place, the Brahmin girl, means Draupadi in her previous birth, lost all of her opulences in a moment. Being an offender to Purushottam, her body began to look very ugly and she lost all of her bodily effulgence. She then decided to worship Lord Shiva, who is known as Ashutosh, one who is very easily pleased. Young Brahmani then began to perform great austerities to please Lord Shiva, the husband of Parvati. She continued her austerities for 9,000 years. In the summer season, she would sit for meditation surrounded by fire and under the hot sun. In the winter season, she meditated under freezing cold water. Observing her great austerities, even the demigods became fearful. Lord Shankar, that is Shiva, then appeared before the Brahmin girl because he was pleased by her worship and austerities. When Lord Shiva appeared before the girl in his spiritual form, the girl immediately stood up, rejuvenated. In the presence of Lord Shiva, all of her bodily weakness disappeared, and she again started to look beautiful. Seeing Lord Shiva in front of her, she started to worship him in her mind, and then began to recite nice prayers to please him. Very pleased with the girl, Lord Shiva said, O performer of austerity, all good fortune to you. Now please ask some boon from me. I am pleased with you. I shall grant whatever you want. Hearing these words from the mouth of Lord Shiva, the girl said, O friend of the poor, if you are pleased with me, then please give me husband. Repeatedly speaking the same words, give me husband 5 times. The girl then fell silent. Then Lord Shiva replied, let it be. You have asked for a husband 5 times, and so you will get 5 husbands. Hearing Lord Shiva's words, the girl became very ashamed. She said, O Lord, it is most abominable for a girl to have 5 husbands. Please retract your words. Lord Shiva then spoke to her very gravely, that is impossible for me. What you have asked from me will be granted. You will get 5 husbands in your next life. Previously, you offended Purushotam by not following the kind advice of sage Durvasa. O Brahmana girl, there is no difference between the body of Durvasa and mine. All we demigods, including Lord Brahma and all the great saints like Narada, worship this Purushottam in accordance with the order of Lord Shri Krishna. A devotee of Purushottam achieves all good fortune in this life, and at the end of his life he goes back to Golok Dham, the abode of Lord Shri Krishna. Being an offender to this sacred Purushottam, you will get 5 husbands in your next life. Generally, you will find in Shastra, one king may have many wives, and they are engaged in the service like this. But you will not find that one girl will have many husbands, and she will have to serve everyone. So here, the point was, she did not want to serve Supreme Lord, but she wanted to get a husband. That was her desire. But our actual eternal relation is with Krishna. So unless we accept a relation with Krishna, then we will have desire for these non-eternal relations. And also Shiva also told, this is because it was arranged like that. She was worshipping him, and Shiva said, yes, I will give you. And she said 5 times to make it firm, but Shiva took it in that way, so he gave. And he said, this is because you offended Purushottam. The girl became very remorseful, but Lord Shiva immediately disappeared from the place. After Lord Shiva's departure, the young Brahmani became very morose and fearful about her future life. In this way, after a few days, the girl left her body by the arrangement of providence. Means when time comes, no one can stop that. Lord Shri Krishna then said, O Arjuna, in the meantime, the great king Draupada, father, had been performing an elaborate sacrifice. From this sacrificial fire, the young Brahmani took her birth. She appeared as the daughter of Maharaj Draupada. O Arjuna, the same daughter of Medavi Rishi, has now become famous in this world as Draupadi. She is none other than your present wife. Because she blasphemed Purushottam in her previous life, she was insulted by Dushasana in front of the whole Kuru assembly in the presence of all her Pandava husbands. Fortunately, she remembered me, means Shri Krishna, and took my shelter. Yesterday we heard about this. At first she did not take shelter. She was calling Krishna but not taking shelter. But ultimately she took shelter, then Krishna immediately came. So here Krishna is saying, she remembered me and took my shelter. Forgiving her offenses, I protected her from that most abominable condition and saved her from the hand of Dushasan. So this also happened because of offending Purushotam month in previous life. So even her 5 husbands, they were unable to protect her there, because Krishna is the only protector. No one can do anything without his will. Oh dear Pandava brothers, please don't forget to worship the forthcoming Purushottam month. A person who blasphemes Purushottam month and don't worship her and doesn't worship me will never attain good fortune. This Purushottam month is fully potent to fulfill all your desires and remove all miseries. Now your 14 years of forest life is coming to an end. Please worship this Purushottam month sincerely, for it will bestow all good fortune upon you. Giving full consolation to the Pandavas in this way, Lord Shri Krishna then left that place for Dwaraka. After a few days, when Purushottam month appeared, Maharaj Yudhishthira reminded his younger brothers and wife Draupadi of the words of Lord Shri Krishna. All of them followed the instructions he had given them. They worshipped Purushottam Shri Krishna in various ways during this sacred month. The merit they achieved by performing Purushottam VRATA meant they regained their lost kingdom, and after enjoying a happy life, they all returned back to Godhead by the grace of Lord Shri Krishna. So this is about the previous life of Draupadi, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentioned. And tomorrow we will hear the second one about that. In Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's article, it is stated Dridadhanva king, who was instructed by Valmiki Muni. That will be narrated next, but here I don't know why they put the name Haradhanva. There is Dridadhanva, here Haradhanva. But anyway, point is the same. So we will come to know about that history in relation to Purushottam month. And as per instruction of Valmiki Muni, in this history, one has to daily read or hear Srimad Bhagavatam. It is obligatory, must in Purushottam month. So we are hearing this topic of Brahma's prayers to Lord Shri Krishna. Yesterday we heard the verse, O Almighty, no, not this one. Yes, non-devotees. So it was yesterday was mentioned the yogis, those who will do devotional service, they can attain Supreme Lord. Non-devotees, however, cannot realize you in your full personal feature. Nevertheless, it may be possible for them to realize your expansion as the impersonal Supreme by cultivating direct perception of the Self within the heart. But they can do this only by purifying their mind and senses of all conceptions of material distinctions and all attachments to material sense objects. Only in this way will your impersonal feature manifest itself to them. Commentary by disciples of Srila Sai Maharaj. it is difficult for conditioned souls to understand all the transcendental features of the Supreme Lord. As confirmed in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmati Paramatmati Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. The transcendental existence of God is understood progressively as the impersonal effulgence, the localized supersoul in one's heart, and finally the Supreme Personality of Godhead existing in his eternal abode. Lord Krishna's transcendental existence is beyond the qualities of material nature. Thus here the Lord is referred to as agunasya, without material qualities. So if someone is not studying Vedic scriptures under the guidance of realized soul, pure devotee, then he cannot understand properly. And Shankaracharya also misinterpreted. You will find in scripture agunasya, like here, or nirguna, nirvishesha, nirakar. Nirakar means no form. Or apurusha, apurusha, not person. But what is meant, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Sarvam Bhattacharya, that material conception is refuted. Supreme Lord has no material qualities, which are full of faults and temporary. And he has no material form which is temporary like this. So both definitions are there in Shastra, but you have to properly understand by hearing from proper pure devotee and by your own realization what is meant. That is why it is stated, only one who has devotion to Supreme Lord and to Guru, to him all the meaning of Shastra can be revealed. Not to just by intellect you will try to understand, no. So, because his form is transcendental, beyond the reach of material senses. Material senses and mind, intellect, all they are temporary. So how you can see something which is eternal? Impossible. Even by practicing yoga, that is Ashtanga yoga, or engaging in advanced philosophical speculation, one will find it very difficult to understand clearly the transcendental existence beyond the modes of material nature. They may get, these yogis and gyanis, they may get conception of Brahma and Paramatma, but that will not be full realization, because they are angas of Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is behind them, Brahma and Paramatma, so they have no full realization. So they cannot clearly see. And these processes are virtually useless for understanding the Lord's own unlimited transcendental qualities. You cannot. Only by devotional service you can understand, which are far beyond the impersonal conception of spiritual existence. Only by the mercy of the pure devotees of the Lord, or by associating with the Lord himself, can one begin the process of realizing the personal feature of God. Yes. A process that culminates in pure Krishna consciousness, the final and supreme perfection of knowledge. Because to realize Supreme Lord, you have to submit to him. Supreme Lord is only one, and he is supreme. Nothing is equal or more than him. So only way of getting him is by his will. To surrender to his will is Sharanagati, surrender, and that is the starting point of devotion. So though all jivas in their real self, they have natural instinctive devotion to Krishna, being his part and parcels as his parts of his potency. He's like magnet, the jivas are like iron, they are attracted to him, but because of being enveloped by Maya, that is not manifested. So in that condition, you cannot have Svatah Siddha Gyan. It is in Shastra like self-revealed. No, you need mercy of pure devotee who is grace incarnate form of Supreme Lord or Supreme Lord. You need his grace. Then that devotion or that Sharanagati will awaken within you. And then when you will follow that process, then through that process, Krishna can reveal, means Krishna will reveal himself to such a surrendered soul. That is the only way to realize him. That is why yogis, jnanis, they cannot realize. Here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur did not give any commentary on this verse. The next verse, Gunatmanas tepi gunan vimatum hitavatirnasya ka ishiresya kalena yair va vimitah sukalper bhu pamshavah ke mihika dyu bhasach. In time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars and other luminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? Brahma can say this because he realized Krishna by his grace. Then he can understand what is the meaning of this unlimited. It is literally unlimited, not like hyperbolic, exaggerated. No, literally Krishna is unlimited. One who gets some realization of him, then he can easily understand the difference between Maic measurable things. Although these things are very in large numbers, like number of atoms, sun particles, very big, but still Brahma is comparing. Even they may be able to count this. This is still measurable. It is Maic. But no one can count your qualities. That is unlimited. Commentary by disciples of Srila Sai Maharaj. Srila Sanatana Goswami explains that Lord Krishna is Gunatma, the soul of all superior qualities, because he gives them life. For example, one may discuss in an abstract way such qualities as generosity, intelligence, and mercy, but they come to life only when a living person exhibits them. Thus, Lord Krishna is Gunatma because he descends to the material world and re-establishes religious principles by exhibiting all godly qualities himself and inspiring them in others. A living entity who develops the transcendental qualities found in the Lord receives immeasurable benefit and eventually goes with the Lord back to his own abode, where all living beings are liberated and fully endowed with the transcendental nature. As Krishna is unlimited, his pure devotees, his personal associates or liberated souls, they are also unlimited. Their qualities are ever increasing. We may have some conception, but that is not correct. Try to put them in some box. Not possible. Their qualities are always increasing. They are unlimited. And you can never say, now I know everything. That is why our Gurudev told, how is it possible that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could hear about Dhruva and Prahlad 100 times? Already he heard, so he knows. But the point is, he's teaching us the qualities of devotees are unlimited. No one can finish. And they're always tasting fresh, new taste. That is why one who really heard will have the desire to hear again. If you're drinking nectar, you will not want to stop. You will want to more and more. Like that, pure devotees are such. They also have transcendental nature. It is not measurable. And we can put in some mental, intellectual conception. No? Even we may think very highly and something, but still that is not correct. By realization, you will find that they are unlimited. Only we can sing their glories something, which how much we are able to purify ourselves, but no one can finish their glories. Srila Sanatana Goswami further explains that the Lord manifests a specific spiritual quality for the benefit of each living entity. Since there are innumerable living entities within the confines of material creation, the Lord manifests infinite qualities. Thus, every conditioned soul can appreciate the Supreme Lord in a particular way. So every jiva is unique, own person, and they are unlimited, and they are in unlimited conditions. So for each jiva, Krishna has one particular special quality only for that jiva by which he will attract her. In that sense also his qualities are unlimited. Unlimited, and in that unlimitedness, for every one of us, he has some special quality to attract personally you, only you. I like this commentary of Srila Sanatana Goswami very much. Every year I'm happy to read this. Every year means every Purushotam month. This example is given here that even if the most learned scholars could someday count the particles of earth, snow and light, they would still fail to understand the qualities of the Lord. In this example, earth, snow and light are progressively more subtle. Thus it is to be understood that there is an increasing difficulty in counting their virtually infinite particles, but still they are not literally infinite. They can be counted, they are measurable because they are part of this material creation. But Krishna is not like that. He is literally unlimited and unlimited qualities in him. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, great personalities like Lord Shankarshan actually have counted the number of atoms on the earth. Lord Shankarshan means Baladev, or Shankarshan, he is the source of this creation. He can count, he is Supreme Lord, and he can actually count, because it is possible to count, because this is material creation. Actually have counted the number of atoms on the earth and even the molecules in the entire universe. He can, the Supreme Lord. Yet even such a personality as Shankarshan, who has been continuously chanting the glories of the Lord since time immemorial, that is Anantadev, has not even approached a final count of those glories. Means there is no end. Anantadev, with his 1,000 hoods, he is all the time speaking Harikatha, glories of Krishna, and each mouth is speaking different Harikatha, not all same. Each one is own Harikatha, and continuously from Anadikal, beginningless time. He's singing the glories and cannot finish. It is impossible to finish. And he's tasting transcendental bliss in doing that. Lord Krishna exhibits his most astonishing qualities during his childhood pastimes in Vrindavan, where he steals butter from the cowherd ladies, dances with his girlfriends, and plays with his cowherd boyfriends as their most dear companion. Although appearing like ordinary human activities, such sublime pastimes embody Lord Krishna's immeasurable and innumerable beautiful transcendental qualities, which are the life and soul of the pure devotees. Tomorrow we will hear also direct commentary by Vishnu Chakra Thakur to this verse.